The largest solar flare that we have had in solar cycle 25 was not the other one the other day. It is this one. It just erupted from the sun. This is an X9, the largest record-breaking solar flare that we have had in solar cycle 25. Mind you, we are in the solar maximum. This is going to get higher. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sarah Starr. I report on space weather. I am also a Galactic Federation ambassador for the alien disclosure that is coming in the next 10 years. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel because I have so much information that you need to know. Not only did we have the largest solar flare that we have ever had in solar cycle 25, but we already had another X-class flare that is on its way right now. These solar flares are causing these radio blackouts. Your internet is not going to work properly. You are going to feel cognitively off. This is the largest national risk that we have all over the world are these solar flares from the sun. This is on the top of the risk registry. And of course, nobody is talking about it except this girl, trying to give you as much efficiency warning as possible, but this is the largest solar flare that we have had so far. And the probability of having more this week is at a 35%, if not larger. Proton percentage is at a 35%. So not only are we having these severe geomagnetic storms that are expected today, tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that, but we can also slip into solar radiation storms, which also can last for multiple days. We're at a 35%, guys. Our sun is literally popping off and it's not done yet. This is a problem. We have had 4 continuously growing areas within the past 24 hours. And our sun is peppered with these regions. Most of them are Earth facing, and it is a problem, especially with 2 back-to-back very strong solar flares, X-class solar flares. And we are going to look at 3842 that is producing those X-class flares. We're also going to look at 3841. This is also producing a lot of these solar storms. All of these are Earth facing. And as you can see, they are highly magnetically complex. So let's look into these a little closer. Let's start off with 3841. This region is growing in size. It is growing in the number of sunspots, and it is highly magnetically complex in beta and delta. We're waiting for a gamma configuration to enter into this. Multiple M-class flares from this region. This one is directly facing Earth. X-class flare percentage still at a 10%. Proton percentage, 10%. Now let's look at 3842. 3842 has gave us back-to-back X-class flares. Huge deal here. We're in beta, delta, and gamma configuration. As you can see, this one is complex. It has grown in size exponentially. It has went down in the number of sunspots because it's exploding, right? And we have a 25% chance of having more X-class flares from this region. 25% with this proton level, and we are getting multiple M-class flares from here. This is a big deal yet again. This region, 3842, is Earth-facing right now. It gave us a strong CME that was evident, aimed directly at our planet. Although data is being analyzed right now, the CME tracking model is being updated. So next to this model, we will have more back-to-back CMEs, increasing those geomagnetic storm levels. This is going to be big. And remember, we also have a chance of slipping into those solar radiation storms that can last days. We also had 2 filament eruptions with CMEs associated with them. This is going to increase these geomagnetic storm levels. We may get into G3 to G4, strong to severe levels here soon. This is a problem yet again. The first filament eruption, 10 degrees, liftoff near like the northeastern quadrant. The second one was a 13 degrees centered more towards the southwestern quadrant of our sun. Let's look at another region that is growing, 3844 right here, yet again, Earth facing. Now this region is also growing in size, 10% chance of having an X-class flare from here, 5% proton level. Although it hasn't gained any delta or gamma configuration, we still have a high percentage of having more X-class flares. Lastly, let's look at this new region that just popped up on the sun, 3848. This region is new and it's already at a 10% chance of having another X-class flare. 5% chance of having a proton level increase for the solar radiation storm. It is growing exponentially in size. It is in beta and delta ranges. And I want to let everybody know that having back-to-back X-class flares with a high percentage of having more is not normal. Yes, we're in the solar maximum and it is going to continuously increase. We have the peak 2024, 2025, 2026. What's going to happen between those years if we're already getting something like that is the highest that we have had in solar cycle 25? Because we're popping off with all of these solar flares. This one is not updated with the X9 solar flare, but obviously it's the #1 ranking. And as you can see, these are all in 2024. Look at that. This is nuts. So let's talk about the 3-day geomagnetic forecast because it is going to increase. Note that these numbers are not updated. We're going to have a full chart here come tomorrow. So we're expecting the shock arrival today, late into the 3rd and into the 4th. Today, we're going to reach into those minor levels, 65% high latitude positions. We'll be able to see an aurora. However, you're going to feel crazy with all of these high frequencies coming in, these gamma radiations. The bulk of the plasma is going to come on October 4th. It's going to remain elevated as we go into the 5th and the 6th and the 7th with these X-class flares that are back-to-back. Back-to-back severe geomagnetic storms, not normal. Being able to see the aurora in the southern states, not normal. Just the other day, we had an X7.1 solar flare, which is technically now the 3rd strongest solar flare that we have had in solar cycle 25. It is producing these strong geomagnetic storms. Now, it is going to be around 850 to 950 kilometers per second. So these winds, the high velocity, the density is going to be up there. You are going to feel this. You are going to see this. These high solar winds are going to increase this geomagnetic storm energy, and it will persist through the whole weekend. Geez, what is going on with this energy right now? Let me know in the comments if you're feeling this. Are you jittery? Are you having human zoomies? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel this anxiety? Because there's an increase in energy, and there's an increase in energy within the world itself. Now, we had our new moon yesterday. We had our solar eclipse yesterday in Libra, bringing a balance. So this X-class solar flare that we just had, the X7, that brought in that energy. Now the X9 is pushing that energy and finishing it. So our Libra new moon was yesterday. The solar eclipse was yesterday. However, you are still going to feel the effects of this, but over time, you're going to feel a lot clearer. You're going to feel a little bit calmer, but the geomagnetic storm and these ascension symptoms due to the energy in your bioelectrical field that is connected to these geomagnetic storms is going to be off the hook. Today, we may have trouble understanding our thoughts. We may have trouble communicating effectively today, especially with all this going on. Our minds may be racing. We may have heart palpitations today. We may have anxiety. Nausea may sit in. We may have a lot of these physical symptoms. I have a video pinned on my page named Ascension Symptoms, so make sure that you watch that. Along with my new videos about the Carrington event. If you don't know what the Carrington event, it has everything to do with solar weather. It has everything to do with the geomagnetic storms. It is the largest solar storm that we have had, except another one is coming. This one is going to break the internet down. We are not going to have communications. Yet again, if you haven't watched that video, go watch it. We also have Venus and Neptune that are interacting with each other today. So what does this mean for us? It means that we are going to be led to ignore red flags. We want to live in a fantasy world. We want to stay in our bubble. Sorry guys, your bubble needs pop. Nobody wants our bubbles to be popped. However, it's going to go that way. And especially as we get more of these higher frequential energies coming in, the consciousness of the whole entire planet, because we are all connected through quantum physics and quasi crystals, that we are going to start awakening. More people are going to start awakening. It's going to have to do with a lot of the stars that are falling. Everybody is like following the entertainment field, which is good. They need to know. But they're also starting to understand that they are controlled, that the media is no good. Today, tomorrow, and the whole weekend is going to be off the charts energy. Make sure that you are prepared. Let me know in the comments how you're dealing with the energy. Love ya.